Michael Jai White, the real warrior. Hollywood never fully understood. Date of birth: 10th of November, 1967. Place of birth: Brooklyn, New York City, United States. Nationality: American. Michael Jai White was born on the 10th of November, 1967, in Brooklyn, New York, an environment known for its toughness, resilience, and uncompromising reality. He later grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, a working-class city that played a crucial role in shaping his character, discipline, and outlook on life. This was not a privileged or glamorous upbringing, and it is an important detail when trying to understand the man behind the screen. From an early age, White was drawn not to celebrity or attention, but to structure, discipline, and self-mastery. These qualities would later define both his martial arts journey and his acting career. Martial artist first, actor second. Long before Hollywood ever noticed him, Michael Jai White was already a highly trained martial artist. He began studying martial arts as a child and went on to dedicate decades to rigorous training. Over the years, he has earned black belts and advanced rankings in multiple disciplines, including Shotokan Karate, Kyokushin, Karate, Taekwondo Wushu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Kobudo, boxing. What sets White apart from many action stars is simple but significant. His skills are real. He did not learn martial arts for film roles. Films came later. His movements, balance, timing, and restraint are the result of lifelong practice rather than choreography alone. As a result, he is widely respected not only by film audiences, but also by professional fighters and martial artists, including those from the MMA community. In an industry often criticized for illusion and exaggeration, White represents authenticity. Making history with Spawn. In 1997, Michael Jai White made history by becoming the first African-American actor to play a major comic book superhero in a big-budget Hollywood production, Spawn. This achievement came years before films such as Blade or Black Panther, at a time when such casting choices were rare and often resisted by studios. The role was physically demanding and symbolically important, requiring intense physical conditioning as well as emotional control. While Spawn itself received mixed critical responses, White's performance was widely recognized for its physical credibility and presence. He brought weight and seriousness to a character that could easily have felt artificial. However, this milestone also marked the beginning of a recurring issue in his career: Hollywood's uncertainty. Despite his groundbreaking role, Hollywood appeared unsure of how to position Michael Jai White. He possessed qualities that studios often claim to value: exceptional physical ability, natural screen presence, discipline and professionalism, charisma without excess. Yet he was never fully absorbed into the mainstream studio system. Part of this can be attributed to timing, part to industry politics, and part to the fact that White did not conform easily to established stereotypes. He was neither exaggerated nor easily molded. Rather than compromise his identity, he chose a more independent and selective career path. Cult status and creative freedom. Freed from the constraints of mainstream expectations, White began building a reputation as a cult figure within action cinema. Blood and Bone, 2009. In this film, White portrayed Isaiah Bone, a quiet, disciplined fighter whose strength lay in restraint rather than aggression. The performance was widely praised for its realism and composure. The film relied on clean choreography and physical credibility rather than digital effects. For many fans, Blood and Bone represents Michael Jai White at his most authentic. Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing. His appearance as a formidable opponent remains one of the most respected martial arts performances in modern action cinema. The fight sequences are often cited as examples of how martial arts should be portrayed on screen: precise, controlled, and believable. Black Dynamite, 2009. Perhaps the most surprising turn in his career came with Black Dynamite. Here, White demonstrated sharp comedic timing, intelligence, and cultural awareness. The film was both a parody and a tribute, and it revealed a side of him rarely seen in action stars. Black Dynamite confirmed that White was not merely a physical performer, but a creative force. Career achievements and recognition. Although he has never been a conventional box office star, Michael Jai White's achievements are substantial. First African-American lead in a major comic book superhero film, over 100 appearances in film and television, widely respected within the martial arts community. Successful work as a director, writer, and producer, longevity in a demanding industry without relying on franchises. His career is defined less by financial records and more by consistency, respect, and independence. Television and later work. White has also made a notable impact on television, with roles in series such as Tyler Perry's For Better or Worse Arrow, as Bronze Tiger, The Dark Knight, a brief but memorable appearance. In these roles, he continued to project authority and credibility, often elevating the material through his presence alone. Philosophy and personal discipline. Beyond acting, Michael Jai White is known for the way he speaks about life, strength, and responsibility. He frequently emphasizes discipline over ego, control over aggression, purpose over fame, strength combined with humility. In an era where masculinity is often portrayed in extremes, White represents a balanced and grounded model of strength, calm, thoughtful, and principled. This resonates strongly with audiences who value self-discipline and personal accountability. A measured criticism. It would be dishonest to claim that all of White's projects are of equal quality. Some lower-budget films suffer from weak or predictable scripts, limited production resources, repetitive narratives. At times, his talents appear underused, particularly when he is cast in roles that do not challenge his range. However, even in less successful projects, one thing remains consistent: his authenticity. He never relies on shortcuts, and his commitment to physical and professional integrity is evident throughout his work. Why Michael Jai White still matters. In a modern film industry increasingly dominated by digital effects, franchises, and carefully manufactured personas, Michael Jai White represents something different. He stands for skill developed through years of discipline, strength expressed through restraint, respect earned rather than demanded. He may not dominate headlines, but among those who value authenticity, fighters, martial artists, and serious film enthusiasts, his reputation is firmly established. Final reflection. Michael Jai White is more than an action actor. He is an example of what happens when discipline outlasts fashion, when substance outweighs noise, and when integrity takes precedence over visibility. Hollywood may never fully celebrate him, but his legacy is secure among those who recognize the difference between performance and reality. And that ultimately is a legacy that endures.